Hi there, welcome back to the final part of our series here, helping small teams navigate conflict, different opinions, and different personalities. So today, Alex and I will be unpicking passive aggressive behavior. Now, what is passive aggressive behavior? Well, in a team setting, I'm guessing a lot of people will have noticed little one-line put downs on occasions. They might have noticed feedback which has been done in a indirect and dishonest way. It might well be that one team member goes through another team member to get a message to someone. You've got the dirty looks, the sarcastic comments, perhaps even some attention-seeking behavior. Yeah, have I missed anything, Alex?
Yeah, I think there are lots of ways this one shows up. I think this probably explains some of the ones you described, but yeah, one of the situations we can find are where somebody maybe is bothered by something, but they're very passive. And then when that pressure becomes too much, then they might come across aggressively. So I think that's a really key part of this passive aggressive presentation. And I think a lot of people could relate to it as well. I think throughout life, we've all probably been there at some point where we try and bite our tongue and then it comes out. So yeah, that's a very classic example.
And would you say, I suppose, in this team scenario, that blaming others and not taking responsibility for your own actions could be a pitfall in this?
Yeah, because I think all of these, again, like going back to the previous video, relate to self-esteem. So if we might have low self-esteem, even if it's just in a particular area, we might be in a situation where we could be taking like constructive criticism and developing the group. But actually maybe that hits a nerve and then we try and project that or push that onto somebody else to kind of save ourselves, save face.
You say that about hitting a nerve. Now, in this high performance style setting, emotions are going to be running high. So yeah, lots of nerves
Mm.
can get hit to say the least. And I'd imagine, a lot of people are problem solvers, aren't they? Where they're offering advice an awful lot. So where we're not feeling great in ourselves, perhaps where you talk about low self-esteem, we're not the best communicator. Performances are suffering, shall we say. Yeah, I suppose what advice would you offer team members to be able to help this type of athlete?
Um, I suppose it's really about helping them develop that higher self-esteem and that degree of confidence. So, I mean, a big part is something we look at triangulation. So you might have like more than one person in an environment and they can all model the positive behavior. So if everyone in the team is taking it upon themselves to show confidence and respect for others and open communication, that can definitely encourage athletes in that situation as well. And I think for everyone involved, like some of the key fundamental, building blocks are taking a step back and tuning into feelings. Like if you feel someone's being passive or aggressive, you can express that. Or if you're feeling like a nerve's been hit, you can even express that. I think it's, yeah, very much about tuning into your feelings and your opinions and just getting them out there in a respectful way as soon as possible. Everyone involved.
So would you agree that like active listening can be a
Definitely.
real like big skill there? And how
Yeah, yeah.
so again, putting ourselves in the shoes of the rider or the athlete here, who isn't
Mm.
like feeling particularly great in themselves, if they do feel listened to, how does that make them feel?
Well, I mean, first of all, it can make them feel seen. And if they're feeling seen, they're more likely to, if you like, see themselves as well. So it's good practice for them to tune into themselves. But also, if they feel seen and heard, then they might feel more like their opinion matters, maybe less like the weight of the world is purely on them, more like people want to know how they're doing and give them space to explore, aside from just win-win winning kind of thing.
Yeah, so they feel more valued and more respected there.
Mm.
Which yeah, if you've got
Yeah,
this if
absolutely.
you've got this team where there's a lot of passive aggressive behavior, then yeah, that's definitely not going to be the case. I suppose in all of this as well, that in good teams, high performing teams, people need a little bit of space to themselves, don't they? To take a step back, to be able
Mm.
to
Rest and
like
unwind. Yeah.
yeah, sort of yeah, and reflect on how they're feeling and what it is that they need to say and do to in order to improve and get better. Yeah, what are your thoughts in relation to what we're talking about?
Well, yeah. I mean, one of the first things that's coming to mind in terms of if it's just an athlete who is just looking to do that reflection and have that wind down time, they could independently do something like journaling. And that doesn't have to be like, sometimes that gets a bad rap, but journaling in terms of like really just throwing thoughts down on a page or on a voice note or even to a friend, anything that helps them process what's been going on. I think also just tuning into themselves. Are they stressed? Is their nervous system fired up? Can they do something they enjoy that's not linked to the sport so their mind can relax and they can process things that they need to then address when they go back to the sport? Yeah, of course, they can also speak directly to sports psychologists or people in that area. Yeah, all just about that self-awareness, I think.
Mhm. Yeah, no, yeah, self-awareness, you make better decisions as a individual and as a team, don't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, right. Well, so that is the end of our four-part series then. So yeah, we've looked at assertiveness, we've looked at passive, we looked at low self-esteem, aggression's been talked about, and then obviously we this one here has been about passive aggressive behavior. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed this little short series. And yeah, a big thank you for your time, Alex.
Thank you as well, David. Thanks for having me.